The Testament of Yoseph, Part 2. And he did not raise himself against them with evil intent, but he honored his brethren. And out of respect for them, even when he was being sold, he refrained from telling the Ishmaelites that he was the son of Jacob, a great and mighty man. Yoseph instructed his children to have the fear of the Most High in all their works before their eyes, and honor their brethren. For everyone who doeth the law of the overseer shall be loved by him. And when he came to the Indocolpate with the Ishmaelites, they asked him, saying, Art thou a slave? And Yoseph said that he was a home-born slave, that he might not put his brethren to shame. And the eldest of them said unto him, Thou art not a slave, for even thy appearance doeth make it manifest. But Yoseph said that he was their slave. Now, when they went into Egypt, they strove concerning him, which of them should buy him and take him. Therefore, it seemed good to all that Yoseph should remain in Egypt with the merchant of their trade, until they should return bringing merchandise. And the overseer gave Yoseph favor in the eyes of the merchant, and he entrusted unto Yoseph his house. And the Most High gifted him by Joseph's means, and increased him in gold and silver, and in household servants. And Yoseph was with him 3 months and 5 days. And about that time the Memphian woman, the wife of Pentiferes, came down in a chariot with great pomp, because she had heard from her eunuchs concerning Yoseph. And she told her husband that the merchant had become rich by means of a young Hebrew. And they say that he had assuredly been stolen out of the land of Canaan. Now, therefore, render justice unto him, and take away the youth to thy house. So shall the Most High of the Hebrews gift thee, for grace from heaven is upon him. And Pentiferes was persuaded by her words, and commanded the merchant to be brought, and said unto him, What is this that he heard concerning thee, that thou stealest persons out of the land of Canaan, and sellest them for slaves? But the merchant fell at his feet, and besought Pentiferes, saying, Ruler, I know not what thou sayest. And Pentiferes said unto him, Whence then is the Hebrew slave? And he said, The Ishmaelites entrusted Yoseph to him until they should return. But he believed them not, but commanded him to be stripped and beaten. And when he persisted in his statement, Pentiferes said, Let the youth be brought. And when he was brought in, he did obeisance to Pentiferes, for he was third in rank of the officers of Pharaoh. And he took Yoseph apart from him, and he said unto Yoseph, Art thou a slave or free? And Yoseph said, A slave. And he said, Whose? And Yoseph said, The Ishmaelites. And he said, How didst thou become their slave? And Yoseph said, They bought him out of the land of Canaan. And he said unto him, Truly thou liest. And straightway he commanded Yoseph to be stripped and beaten. Now the Memphian woman was looking through a window at Yoseph while he was being beaten, for her house was near. And she sent unto him, saying, Thy judgment is unjust, for thou dost punish a free man who hath been stolen, as though he were a transgressor. And when Yoseph made no change in his statement, though he was beaten, he ordered Yoseph to be imprisoned, until, he said, the owners of the boy should come. And the woman said unto her husband, Wherefore dost thou detain the captive and well-born lad in bonds, who ought rather to be set at liberty and be waited upon? For she wished to see Yoseph out of a desire of sin. But Yoseph was ignorant concerning all these things. And he said to her, It is not the custom of the Egyptians to take away that which belongeth to others before proof is given. This, therefore, he said concerning the merchant, but as for the lad, he must be imprisoned. Now after 24 days came the Ishmaelites, for they had heard that Jacob, Joseph's father, was mourning much concerning him. And they came and said unto him, How is it that thou saidst that thou wast a slave. And lo, they have learnt that thou art the son of a mighty man in the land of Canaan, and thy father still mourneth for thee in sackcloth and ashes. When Yoseph heard this, his bowels were dissolved, and his heart melted, and he desired greatly to weep, but he restrained himself, that he should not put his brethren to shame. And Yoseph said unto them, he knew not, and that he was a slave. Then, therefore, they took counsel to sell Yoseph, that he not be found in their hands, for they feared his father, lest he should come and execute upon them a grievous vengeance. For they had heard that he was mighty with the Most High and with men. Then said the merchant unto them, release us from the judgment of Pentiferous. And they came and requested Yoseph, saying, say that you was bought by us with money, and Pentiferous will set us free. Now the Memphian woman said to her husband, buy the youth, for she said she heard that they are selling him. And straightway she sent a eunuch to the Ishmaelites, and asked them to sell Yoseph. But since the eunuch would not agree to buy Yoseph at their price, he returned, and having made trial of them, he made known to his mistress that they had asked a large price for their slave. And she sent another eunuch, saying, even though they demand 2 mints, give them, do not spare the gold. She said, only buy the boy, and bring him to her. The eunuch therefore went and gave them 80 pieces of gold, and he received Yoseph. But to the Egyptian woman, he said, he gave 100 to purchase Yoseph. And though Yoseph knew this, he held his peace, lest the eunuch should be put to shame. Joseph's exhortation to his sons. Yoseph told his children, ye see therefore, children, what great things he had to endure, that he should not put his brethren to shame. Do ye also therefore love one another, and with longsuffering hide ye one another's faults. For the Most High delighted in the unity of brethren, and in the purpose of a heart that taketh pleasure in love. And when his brethren came into Egypt, they learnt that Yoseph had returned their money unto them, and upbraided them not, and comforted them. And after the death of Jacob, his father, Yoseph loved them more abundantly, and all things whatsoever he commanded, Yoseph did very abundantly for them. And he suffered them not to be afflicted even in the smallest matter. And all that was in his hand he gave unto them. And their children were his children, and his children as their servants. And their life was his life, and all their suffering was his suffering, and all their sickness was his infirmity. Joseph's land was their land, and their counsel was his counsel. And Yoseph exalted not himself among them, in arrogance, because of his worldly greatness, but he was among them as one of the least. Yoseph told his children, if they also therefore walk in the commandments of the overseer, he will exalt them there, and will give them with good things forever and ever. And if anyone seeketh to do evil unto them, do well unto him, and pray for him, and he shall be redeemed of the overseer from all evil. Yoseph said, for behold, ye see that, out of his humility and longsuffering, he took unto wife the daughter of the priest of Heliopolis, and 100 talents of gold were given him with her, and the overseer made them to serve him. And he gave him also beauty as a flower beyond the beautiful ones of Israel, and he preserved them unto old age in strength and in beauty, because he was like in all things to Jacob. Joseph's vision. Hear ye therefore the vision which Joseph saw. He saw 12 hearts feeding, and 9 of them were dispersed. Now the 3 were preserved, but on the following day they also were dispersed. And he saw that the 3 hearts became 3 lambs, and they cried to the overseer. And he brought them forth into a flourishing and well-watered place. Yea, he brought them out of darkness into light. And there they cried unto the overseer, until there gathered together to them the 9 hearts, and they became as 12 sheep. and after a little time they increased and became many flocks. And after these 3 things, Yoseph said he saw, and behold, 12 bulls were sucking one cow, which produced a sea of milk, and there drank thereof the 12 flocks, and innumerable herds. And the horns of the 4th bull went up unto heaven, and became as a wall for the flocks. And in the midst of the 2 horns there grew another horn. And Yoseph saw a bull calf, which surrounded them 12 times, and it became a help to the bulls wholly. And he saw in the midst of the horns a virgin wearing a many-colored garment, and from her went forth a lamb, and on his right was as it were a lion. And all the beasts and all the reptiles rushed against him, and the lamb overcame them and destroyed them. And the bulls rejoiced because of him, and the cow and the harts exulted together with them. And these things must come to pass in their season. And Yoseph instructed his children to honor Levi and Judah, for from them shall arise the salvation of Israel. Yoseph said, His kingdom, which is among them, shall come to an end, as a watcher's hammock, which will not appear after the summer. Joseph's last words to his sons, his death and burial. Yoseph told his children that after his death the Egyptians will afflict them, but the Most High will avenge them, and will bring them into that which he promised their fathers. But they shall carry up his bones with them, for when his bones are being taken up thither, the overseers shall be with them in light, and Beliar shall be in darkness with the Egyptians. Yoseph told them to carry up Asenath their mother to the hippodrome, and near Rachel to bury Asenath their mother. And when he said these things, he stretched out his feet, and died at a good old age. And all Israel mourned for him, and all Egypt with a great mourning. And when the children of Israel went out of Egypt, they took with them the bones of Yoseph, and they buried him in Hebron with his fathers. And the years of his life were 110 years.